Right now on Hoosier News Source, have you noticed People's Park is more lively these days? We tell you what's changed.
And more about how the ending of DACA is affecting IU students right here at IU.
And I've got when you can expect rain from the remnants of Hurricane Irma and the details on a weekend warm-up. These stories and more. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. I'm Sophia Grimsgard.
And I'm Amelia Reynolds. Last week, President Trump made the decision to repeal the DACA program. The safety of nearly 800,000 immigrants is now in question. I took a look at what Indiana University is doing in response to this action. President Trump now officially plans to wind down the DACA program. DACA stands for Deferred Action for Child Arrivals. President Obama created DACA to help the children of illegal immigrants. Under the act, they can live and work legally for renewable 2-year periods. But now, things are changing.
It targets students and individuals for things they have no control over or had no control over, and targets them specifically based on status.
DACA is being phased out over a 6-month period, and then the government will stop renewing permits for the current recipients.
So I think it's a very complicated but a very devastating decision.
With the current status of DACA in question, it just goes to show that events that happen in Washington, D.C. can affect us right here at Indiana University. There are hundreds of thousands of DACA recipients, also called Dreamers, across the country. Some of these Dreamers attend IU, and this decision has left them, along with other students, afraid.
So the first thing that decision does is create a huge amount of uncertainty.
Hannah Thomas interned for Congress this past summer and thinks the government needs to stand behind Dreamers.
But we have students here on campus that are even impacted by this, and I think it's really important for us as a university to stand behind those students and to protect those students and really let them know that this campus is somewhere that completely welcomes them and that IU is their home.
For the next 6 months, Congress has the opportunity to create a replacement for the DACA program. If students are concerned about the DACA repeal, they are urged to contact their government officials about it. Indiana University is reaching out to help Houston natives in need after the impact of Hurricane Harvey. The university is leading various relief efforts, including Hoosier to Houston donation drive. IU also is taking steps to show support to students from the area.
The university wants to know if students are experiencing struggle, hardship, if it's impacting them and their ability to be a good and productive student in class or in any other way. We want them to reach out, ask for help.
The Office of the Dean of Student expressed their support through social media posts and encouraged any student affected to contact their office.
Sunday, the 400-mile-wide storm landed in Florida as a Category 4 hurricane. Winds around 130 miles per hour. Hoosier News Source reporter Caitlin Berman tells us how this deadly disaster is affecting your peers.
Tropical storms are making their way through the Atlantic, and one in particular is Hurricane Irma, which hit Florida this past weekend at a Category 3. Deaths are still being recorded since Irma began its devastating path through the Caribbean. With 120-mile-per-hour winds and high storm surges, Hurricane Irma consumed almost all parts of Florida. Hurricane Irma so far has left 1.69 million people powerless across 31 counties and an immeasurable amount of damage.
Here at Indiana University, students are also being affected by Hurricane Irma. While their families are home preparing for the worst, students here are finding it difficult to focus on their academics. Today I met up with a couple Florida natives to find out how Hurricane Irma is personally affecting them and their loved ones.
Right now, Hurricane Irma is really stressing me out because my family back in South Florida is all preparing for the hurricane, and we're scared about what the damages are going to be. They're saying it's Category 5, Category 3. They're not sure how it's going to affect our property.
And the stress on students stems from the devastation back at home.
So it's been really hard to focus on school knowing that such a hard and powerful thing is going on at home.
These students have relied on the support from their fellow Hoosiers to make it through this hard time. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Caitlin Berman.
At least 27 people were killed when Irma hit the Caribbean, and there are 12 confirmed deaths in Florida. The storm knocked out power for more than 3 million people across the state. Last week, the notorious I'm Schmacked visited IU. They organized a large concert that was planned to be very large that many call a waste of time and money. The concert occurred at the Buskirk Chumley Theater, with tickets priced at $40. Many are saying that it was a waste of money. By 10 p.m., the venue had left Many had left the venue, and by 11, everyone was gone. Over the summer, Bloomington police increased their presence in People's Park to break up the homeless population group. With the homeless population no longer congregating in the area, the park is now being used as a different kind of hangout spot. People's Park is now one of the main attractions for local events in the downtown area. A few of these events include nature talks and Zumba workout classes. To see a complete list of their events for the month, head over to their website at visitbloomington.com.
The IU tailgating fields underwent changes for this football season. The tents that used to hold fraternity tailgates are now available for rent by other groups. Students who enter the tents and plan to drink will now be carded. They will be given wristbands, and students under 21 will not be served alcohol. Students who aren't 21 now have a place to go on the weekends. Hoosier News Source reporter Brady Bookout has more on the Kilroy's 18 and Over Club.
New semester, new students, and a new addition to Bloomington's nightlife is in full swing. Kilroy's Recess, an 18 and up nightclub, opened just over 3 weeks ago and is attracting the attention of all ages, specifically non-bar goers.
Recess was very fun. I would totally recommend it. I will definitely be back, that's for sure.
It was really fun. I made the life of the party. I was dancing.
Hey, recess is honestly like such a good time. You walk in, it's like disco lights, like neon lights everywhere, music everywhere, dancing. The downstairs is obviously super fun, really crowded, but I had such an awesome time.
I'm standing here out front Recess just moments before students will come right here to hang out for the night.
I just kind of wanted to go to say I did it, crack a few jokes here and there, say, oh, you guys been to Recess? But I wasn't all that serious. I was usually the only person there.
I made a bunch of new friends, and I just went in with them, and I just danced my heart out.
For some people, like Parker Shelter, he has a different opinion about the nightclub.
It's sometimes really crowded. I heard the covers are really expensive sometimes, but you know, it's really crowded. I mean, no booze, obviously, so I don't know. I kind of like that, kind of don't.
And when asked if this club promotes underage drinking, Shelter agreed.
Got a bunch of kids under 21. I mean, like, they're gonna get drunk, obviously, you know. I mean, I think it does for sure.
For Hoosier News Source, I'm Brady Bookout.
Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton actually does not support the new dance club. For more information, visit kilroysrecess.com.
A new office aimed at preventing sexual violence on campus has opened its doors to students. The Office for Sexual Violence Prevention and Victim Advocacy aids all students regardless of their situations. The office combines new and old initiatives to lower numbers of sexual violence occurrences on campus. There are new bystander programs for first-year students and other new ways to connect students to assistance.
This is where they can come to get support, assistance, no matter their race, ethnicity, background, sexual orientation. Want students to know that this is a place where they can get connected and serve as a resource with other resources on campus and in the community.
Fasone also wants to see the anonymous report numbers go down.
Coming up, a look at the seemingly rainy week ahead.
Plus, an inside look at the app that makes shopping for quick snacks easier.
All that and more coming up. Stay with us.
And it's an honor to be here.
After suffering a season-ending injury in late March,
as you can see behind me,
Welcome back. It's no secret that students use food delivery apps for their favorite meals, but a new delivery system is making its way to our campus. The new app called GoPuff is making students' lives easier. allowing them to make convenience store purchases right from their phones. The app started in Philadelphia, made its way to LA, and is now right here at IU. Whether it be for study snacks or that extra roll of toilet paper students are going to the app to find what they need.
It's, things I crave in the middle of the night that I can't get in a snap of a finger, like Ben & Jerry's or Halo Top or gummy bears, or if I don't feel like, running to the grocery store and picking up laundry detergent. They had all of that.
GoPuff has a warehouse holding all of the purchasable items. Everything will be delivered in a short amount of time to all campus locations. Bloomington has seen quite a dry start to fall, but Brett Waltz joins us now with what to expect in the weekly forecast. Brett?
Thanks, Sophia. And if you take a look at our photo of the week, we have Hurricane Irma making landfall. And Irma was just as bad as it looked on satellite. If we take a look at some of the records set by Irma, we can see that it was the second strongest Atlantic hurricane on record, as well as making 3 landfalls, the first in Cuba since 1925. Unfortunately for us, Irma is not quite done yet, and its remnants will continue to affect Bloomington over the next couple of days. If you take a look at our map here, you can see that Irma is spinning in the Tennessee Valley. We're going to have rain showers and cool weather over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, this cool weather will lead to a cool and wet men's soccer game as the #1 Hoosiers take on the Wolverines at Bill Armstrong Stadium Wednesday night. We'll take you through that forecast here. We're going to start the evening pretty cool, 63 degrees with a decent chance of rain. And then as we head into the nighttime, the rain chances will start to decrease. This cool weather has not been uncommon so far this month, as we've seen much below normal temperatures for the first 2 weeks of September. If you take a look at our climate report, we've been 6 degrees below normal so far this month. We're supposed to be around 80, and we will start to see those 80s return if you take a look at our 7-day forecast. You can see a warming trend to close the week on our 7-day forecast. We start the week cool and rainy, but as we end the week, we're going to heat back up into the upper 80s for this week. That's all. Back to you.
Many IU sports teams were back in action this weekend. IUS TV sports reporter Andrew Walker joined us in studio with the highlights. Andrew?
Thanks, Amelia. The Hoosiers had a strong weekend everywhere they played, with all teams going a combined 7-0-2. We turn our attention first to Indiana football as they downed the Virginia Cavaliers on Saturday, 34-17. Redshirt freshman Peyton Ramsey stepped in and accounted for 173 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Redshirt junior Simi Cobbs Jr. finished with 62 yards receiving and a touchdown as well. The Hoosier defense held strong on Saturday, allowing only 55 rushing yards from the Cavaliers. The Hoosiers look to get the win in 2 weeks when the Georgia Southern Eagles will come to Bloomington. Indiana field hockey showed they had what it takes to take the Miami of Ohio University to overtime and come out on top victorious. The Hoosiers clipped the wings of the Redhawks in a stunning 3-2 overtime win on Sunday. Maddie Latino scored all 3 of the Hoosiers' goals, completing the hat trick. The Hoosiers were trailing 1-0 until within the last minute of regulation, Maddie Latino was able to find the back of the net before halftime, tying the game at 1-1. It was tied up 2-2 with 70 minutes of regulation had run out, forcing the game to go to overtime. In the 75th minute, Latino was able to find the magic one more time and scored her 3rd and final goal of the night. The Hoosiers' next game is Friday, September 15th at 3 p.m. versus number 11 Maryland at the IU Field Hockey Complex. The Hoosier men's golf team was on the links again, and this time at the first tournament of the season at the Wolf Run Golf Club in Zionsville, Indiana. The Hoosiers finished the tournament in 11th place with a total tournament score of 914. Freshman Ethan Shepard carded a 78 on Sunday, capping off his performance as IU's best golfer for the weekend, ending with a tournament total of 223. Junior Jake Brown logged a round of 75, which was the Hoosiers' best final round score. Brown finished the tournament with a 225, which was good for a tie for 23rd. The Hoosiers will be back on the course at September 15th at Olympia Fields for the Fighting Illini Invitational. And that's all we have for this week in sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, that's all we have for you this week. For more campus and local news, visit our website at iustv.com.
And like us on social media. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at IUSTV News, and follow us on Twitter at Hoosier NW Source.
From all of us here at IUSTV, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
News.